My name's Dan Jacobs, and I play guitar for the band ATREYU.
Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, mate. So, ATREYU returned to Australia in July 2025 for a run of dates with Memphis May Fire, starting in Brisbane on July the 9th, before hitting Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and finishing in Perth on July 15th, mate. That's a pretty good double bill yourselves and Memphis May Fire.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've never been down that way with Memphis before, so and they've been friends of us for a long time. We've done several tours with them before over the years, so it's always fun to tour them, and it just seemed like it made sense. And also too to come down and get to play the Curse and whatnot in its entirety. It's going to be a good time.
Well, and it's billed as a co-headlining tour, mate. So, what does that actually mean? Does it mean you alternate the last spot of the night, or you got the same set length?
It's the same. I think the same set length. We play. I think we're closing the shows every night, but yeah, it's a co-headliner.
Yeah, cool. And as you say, you're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of your second album, The Curse. So, does that mean you're going to be playing the whole thing front to back?
Yeah, yeah, we'll be playing all that and maybe even some other treats as well while we're there.
Well, how do you go playing an album front to back, bro? Like when you wrote it, I can't imagine that you ever thought you'd be playing the whole album one day. So, is it difficult to fit all the like little nuances and stuff in there?
As long as we have time, you can you try to put breaks and pauses in the right places where it doesn't feel awkward, or some songs just need to kind of go right into the next sort of thing. And that's just also just one way to approach it. Some bands don't even play them necessarily in order. They might just kind of mix it up and play them or even play it back to front or something like that. Start the last song, work the way forward. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna come and just play the album in its entirety, front to back, and give it to you the way it was meant to be.
Oh, what are some of your memories of making that album, mate?
Oh man, I remember we recorded it or demoed it, I should say. We had the whole album completely written and recorded in the order that you hear it on the album now. I mean, it was like we just put the whole thing together, and when we turned it into the producer to be like, hey, like, is this cool? He was like, yeah, let's just record this. It's actually pretty interesting how much the demos and the recording are. It's just all the same thing as opposed to like chopping songs up or moving things around or changing the order. But we demoed it the same way it is on the record, which is kind of fun. And we recorded it up in Canada in an area called Gibson on this island. Half of it was done in the studio in Vancouver in what is it called? Brian Adams' studio. It's called the Warehouse. We did basically the pre-pro there, and then some drums, and then when we came back, when we were done at the end of it for a week, we did all the mixing there. But majority of the 2 weeks of the recording were all on this island, where we were basically like locked there to an extent. Like we didn't leave for 2 weeks, so we didn't leave this dude's house. We just stayed at his house and recorded for 2 weeks. We didn't go to any like bars or restaurants or anywhere. We just stayed at this dude's house in the woods in like the middle of nowhere for 2 weeks, and it was kind of making us go crazy a little bit. And I think that kind of played into the vibe of the album a little bit.
And looking back, would you consider it a significant album in Atreyu's career?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that was the first album that kind of really put us on the map. I mean, our first record before that, Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses, we had our song Lip Gloss and Black and The Theft that kind of made some waves, but it wasn't until we released Right Side of the Bed and The Curse that like everything started to change and we could feel like our presence in the industry kind of escalating quickly. Yeah, so I mean, it's at the time it's hard to know where it's really going as far as long term, but in the moment you could definitely feel something special was happening.
And you've released 7 albums since then, mate. So how would you say that Atreyu's sound has grown or changed over those records?
I mean, I have several different ways I like to look at it. I mean, one is, every producer you work with, you get a new experience, and you learn things, tricks, and whatnot, and as well as just touring with different bands and traveling. There's so much that goes into your own evolution as a songwriter and as a band member that goes along the way. So every time you hear another record, it's been influenced by even more things for us. So it gives us more kind of vocabulary as far as effects or of the way we approach writing or I don't know, just the overall sound goes. Even doing stuff as far as Atreyu sound has so many different kind of arms to it. There's a heavier side of us, there's softer sides of us, there's punk sides, there's more hardcore sides, more metallic sides. And I feel like with every record, we kind of lean into one or the other, sometimes a little bit more. Like for instance, we just did a thing called the Panoia Sessions, which is like I don't want to say it's an acoustic record, it's like a reimagined thing, but it's kind of showcasing the softer side of our band, which has always been a an element that we've always had. And this doing stuff like the Curse kind of focuses a little bit more on the heavier side of our band.
Sure. I was actually going to bring up the Prenoia sessions, which came out recently. Like it's 8 songs of your own revisited and reimagined, and 2 covers on there. So it's an interesting idea because, as you say, you've stripped the songs back a little bit. Like, where did the idea for that come from?
It actually came from our VIP meet and greets. We were offering trying to find somebody we can offer to our VIP experience at the time that was just a little bit more elevated and want to give people their money's worth and get something that was unique and that you couldn't get at our main show. So we're like, why don't we just strip down a couple songs and do them acoustically, and it could be fun, just kind of like just do a different spin on them, make them almost feel different, like a totally different song, but at the same time, relatable enough where it is the song that we're playing. So we did this, and the reaction we were getting was really, really well. Where everyone was like, "Man, this is awesome! I didn't know you guys could do this. You guys should put something out like this." And we're like, "Oh, maybe we will." And after getting that response enough, we're like, "Okay, let's just have some fun with this and put this out just as like a fun project. Not necessarily like a this is the new direction of the band or anything like that, or we're trying to become some." I don't know, super chill loungy band or anything like that. But it was more just like, let's just do something fun that kind of plays off of a side of us that a lot of people don't get to see.
And what was your selection process for songs on that? Like, I can't imagine that every song you've done would fit that treatment.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are, singles that were just like kind of bigger songs throughout our career that even just the structurally or the melodies and stuff felt like we could really convert them over into a different style, a lot easier to where it would translate and make sense. Um, even picking even like the cover songs and whatnot, we wanted to both of those because the record has this kind of somber feel to it. We chose both an Audio Slave song and also a Tom Petty song, both artists that have passed away, or Chris Cornell in particular. And we wanted the songs to kind of be a nod to them, and also we wanted you to be able to feel the loss of them in the songs, like feel that they're we wanted them to feel kind of slower and sad in a way. So that was kind of the approach to those 2 songs, and they sound beautiful like that. I mean, it's just like it feels appropriate given the type of music that they were doing as well as them not being here anymore. Um, yeah, but yeah, everything else is just songs that just whatever kind of felt good. We're like, this song feels good, and also just having a variety across most of our records to really kind of give people a nice career spanning taste of things.
And then did fans respond to it the way you thought they would or hoped they would?
Yeah, I mean, you get you're like anything you put out, you're gonna have, half the people are gonna be like, this is the greatest thing ever, and then you have other half people are like, you guys are pussies. What happened? This isn't this isn't the Atreyu I know, and it's like it's not supposed to be. Like that's not what it is. It's not about us. Like I said, we're not trying to like become that or anything. It was just like a fun thing to do because it is it is a part of us, I guess, in one way or another.
Cool. Now, before I let you go, mate, we've got a new segment called Photo Bomb, where basically I troll through your social media before I chat with you, pick out a couple of photos.
Okay. All right.
So the first one I've found is this one. Like, I'm not sure if you guys are actually enjoying yourselves, having fun, or if you're in pain.
Oh yeah, I believe this is might even be in Australia, to be honest. I got green hair or yellow hair. When was this? This is on our last run of touring, so it might be. Maybe it was in Australia. It's either in Australia or it's in Europe or UK. But we like to have a good time all the time. And this is this is us, a few drinks deep and a few songs in, and we start getting extra friendly.
You look like you're not camera shy at all either.
No, not one bit.
And the other one I found is this one. Like, I want to know what's going on here. It looks like I don't even know what it looks like.
Okay. So this is some sort of pre-show. We're singing harmonies right now. We
Right.
uh we have uh we have a thing that we do. They're called tear jerkers. It's actually something that we learned from the Good Charlotte guys years ago, back in like, I mean, like 20 years ago on like Warped Tour kind of thing. And it's a thing called it's basically just a small shot. And what we do if we want to, initiate a tearjerker before we're playing, someone will just go tear or in any key tear or whatever it may be. And as soon as somebody hears that, anybody that wants a shot has to jump in with a harmony. So we eventually ends up a thing where we're all singing these harmonized, uh, you know, these four, five, six parts, depending on how many people want to get in harmonies, which then you pour shots for all those people and do tear jerkers.
That's awesome. I'm glad I
Yeah,
asked.
it's super fun.
All right, mate. Well, finally, any messages for Australian fans before you come out?
Yeah, we always love seeing you guys and coming out and playing for everyone. It's one of the funnest places to play in the world, and one of the best countries to visit in general. As a getting to be a tourist on the our tourist side of being a band. So we're excited and appreciate everyone who's stuck around for 25 years of our band's career and ready to get some more of it.